Hello and welcome back. I am here with Oracle's Vice President of Sovereign Cloud, Rand Waldron. Thanks for joining me.
It's great to be here.
Okay, well, we just talked to Kim about this, but I want to get your take. Actually, we're going to compare answers.
Uh-oh.
So,
It's always dangerous.
yes. What are some of the top challenges that you're hearing from the government, technology industry, defense industry today?
So I think really there's two, but they permeate everything. And so those two are speed and cost. And so the government's got to be able to innovate and move as fast as private industry so the government can take advantage of all the things that are happening in the private industry. And the government's got to be able to move as fast as our adversaries. And if you look at what's happening globally, whether it be Ukraine or Iran or in the Western Pacific, if you look at what's happening, these are not minor league adversaries. These are adversaries that are focusing their entire governments, their entire private sectors on innovating faster than we can. And so the government's got to be fast. The second thing is the government's got to be cost effective. And so what happens is the government is used to working in a world where cost doesn't matter, where there is an infinite amount of funding from Congress, and they just get out there and they spend and they spend. That world is truly gone. And so they have a set of constraints that are in some way very much like the private sector. If you were to ask a company, the company's going to say they want to be faster, they need it to be cheaper as well. The constraints are very similar. The stakes are much higher. We see that throughout the government right now. Every single program manager needs to make it happen faster and needs to show that they can do it more cost effectively.
Okay, so the obvious next question is, how is Oracle helping overcome those challenges?
Well, that's what we do. So at its simplest, what we have done is create a platform and a series of technologies that make it really easy for the government to innovate that quickly. So you have compliance concerns, great. We have regions that meet those compliance requirements. You have requirements for security and authority to operate, great. We have technologies and documentation that make it fast to achieve that authority to operate. You have concerns about cost, amazing. We built the lowest cost cloud that's the highest performant. So this moment, rather than being a threat to us, this moment is actually a perfect match for how we built our technology. And so we're doing this at scale in the US, we're doing it around the world because we have found our moment and the government is finding us as the answer to these challenges.
You talked earlier about sovereign cloud as part of your title.
It is.
Why is that so critical in this environment now?
Two reasons. War and AI. So right now, every country around the world has realized that the way they're going to deter and win the next conflict isn't by throwing the most artillery at their adversary, isn't by throwing the most people at the problem. The way they're going to deter the next conflict is through technological innovation. And so they've realized that in order to innovate technologically fast enough, they need cloud. That's the only way to get their developers to move faster, their companies to move faster. And for the kinds of things they're innovating, actual defense technologies, they need that in their country, operated by people they trust. This now is not a theory, everybody should operate this way. Everyone realizes today that this will be the decisive difference between being able to deter their adversary and not, and ending up in a conflict. The second thing is AI. AI, we are all going to be interacting with AI every hour of every day. Not every hour, every minute. It's going to be on a device that's on us. It's going to be in every single application. It's going to be in every interaction. And every government out there knows this, but they also know that if that AI is that embedded into their economy, into their government, frankly, even into their culture, if they have that sort of dependence on other countries, other continents, then when somehow that goes away because the cables that connect them to the internet are gone, have they lost this key part of their economy? They will have. And so what they're saying is, great, if AI is going to be this pervasive, we need it in our country. Those two forces, demand for sovereignty is infinite.
Now, I want to switch gears for a second. Oracle announced a new initiative with the defense ecosystem.
Yep.
Can you tell us about that program and why it's so critical now?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is really hard to work with the United States Department of Defense and with the intelligence community. Frankly, the problem is global, and so we're doing elements of this globally, but it's really hard. And the reason it's hard is because the Department of Defense puts a series of obstacles in front of any company to work with them. There's compliance obstacles, there's security obstacles, there's long sales cycles, there's contractual obstacles. All of these obstacles make it incredibly hard for a small company with an innovative product that our government needs to actually get that in the hands of the person that can use it and help make the government better. Now, put directly, I have lived this. We built this at Oracle. We started from an environment where we had an amazing product. And how are we going to bring this to market for the United States government? And so the obstacles that we ran into as we did that, we have overcome those obstacles. We know how. We have been there, and we can lead you out. And we also have the foundations that we can actually share. And so that's what the heart of the defense ecosystem is. It's taking mission partners that deliver against the Department of Defense's mission and then giving them very practical help. This is not theoretical. This isn't PowerPoints. What this is very practical things. Hey, this technology will get you an ATO faster. Hey, this ability gets you secure office space faster. This can help you get onto big contracts that the Department of Defense already has. Hey, we're talking to a customer. Would you like to go in and talk with us? And so these are very practical elements that make it easier for a small company to get in front of those mission customers.
Fabulous. And you mentioned partners. We have some partners like Palantir and Anduril joining us on
Absolutely.
this. What role do they play in this program?
Yeah, so this is not something the general responsible for Army's Future Command said earlier today. He said, we do not fight alone. And as Oracle, as any of these companies, we do not deliver these capabilities alone. So there are things that Oracle is amazing at. Anduril also has technologies that are out there deployed with the mission set and an SDK that allows you to integrate with those technologies. And so Palantir has something they call Warp Speed that is designed to help small and medium manufacturing companies accelerate how they scale. We are not going to win by having a few precious capabilities. We're going to win by making millions of things. And Oracle and Palantir, we can work together to help you do that. We're actually, Oracle and Palantir are working with Anduril on something like that right now.
Well, just to wrap a little bit of a bow around all of this, how will this program further help the U.S. and its allies address, threat events and, the ability to scale as well?
Yeah. So I sort of said pieces of it earlier. We are only going to deter the next conflict. We are only going to ensure peace by showing that we can innovate and we can do it at scale. And so that innovation isn't housed exclusively in Oracle, although there is a ton of innovation in Oracle. It's not in Palantir, it's not in Anduril, it's in hundreds of companies, maybe thousands of companies. Individuals who are passionate about an idea, they know a mission space, they have a product. And so all of us together can work to bring these capabilities to the Department of Defense and make it easier for them to deter the next conflict.
Great. Thank you so much, Rand, for joining us.
Thank you.